just now.
Okay, we're live.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Native Wellness Institute Power Hour. Today's Power Hour is, Jeline, is it still brought to you by the Indian Collective?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we want to thank the Indian Collective for allowing us to provide these power hours to all of Indian country. Today, I am very excited and my heart is happy and chest. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Native Institute Power Hour. So we can't have, whoever has it going live, it can't be on because we can hear it. So you have to make it on quiet. I don't know whose phone that was, but I'm going to start us off with a prayer. So I'm lighting my smudge. Oh, today was a stressful day already, so I'm going to just offer a prayer. Thank you, Kulin Creator Yahweh, for this beautiful day. Today, Creator, I come before you, and I just ask that you would just clear our hearts and our minds and our spirits as we gather today in this virtual world, and as we prepare to do this ceremony the best way that we can. Creator, I just pray that you would just have pity on us because we've lost many of these ways and we don't really know a lot about what we're supposed to do or how we're supposed to do it, but we know that it's a special time when our daughters become women. It's a special time because they have the ability to create life. And I have all daughters and just one son, Creator, that you gifted to me. So it's a huge responsibility that I carry as a mother. And so today I've asked my sisters and my best friends and my mom to be here with us and to help us to help NorthStar to understand the importance of becoming a woman. And so today I just ask that you would clear our hearts and our minds and help us to share the knowledge and wisdom that we carry within our hearts, within our minds, within our spirits. And I just ask you to walk with us, eat with us, sleep with us, just help us today. I ask you, Creator, Kulansuan, to have pity on all of our firefighters and all of our people that these fires are raging throughout the Northwest, throughout California. And I pray today for rain. I ask that you would bring the rain and that you would help save these homes and save our communities and just have pity on us and allow us to open our eyes and to see what we're doing to cause so much hurt and pain, so that we have to reflect on our lives, so that we have to reflect on what's important to us during these times. What is, what's the most important things for us? And so I just ask that you would be with us today. And I'm just going to offer a song to start us off and just ask that it would clear a way for us. Limshin Limnim Kukuts Katiai and Chaspa Ustalichas. Thank you. Oh, geez, I know I want to. Mary Lee was like, LoVina, you need to start this for your daughter. And so I know that's what I was supposed to do, and I don't know why I'm being so emotional. Well, I think it's just because I wanted to do this for so long. You know, I wanted to do this for NorthStar. I wanted to do one for Tawaya. And so I'm just grateful that you guys are here, and I just want to pass it over to Jeline, because I know Jelene's gonna have to leave early from this, and so I just would like Jeline to offer some words.
Thanks, LoVina. Before we started, we were saying, okay, clear your throat from the smoke and clear your eyes from the smoke. We're all socked in smoke. And thank you, LoVina, for that beautiful prayer and song. And thank you for everyone for being here. So, you know, we are in a really interesting time right now. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and we're in the middle of a revolution, and now many of us are in the middle of fire. Fires are all around us. My parents evacuated yesterday, and they're here with us now. And so it's just a really interesting time. So yesterday I was sharing about a dream, and LoVina wanted me to share it this morning or this afternoon. So yesterday, several times throughout the day, I just stopped and I paused. I just prayed for rain. And I was calling upon every ancestor I could think of as well, just like to help us. And one of the ones I called upon, you know, was Charlie Tailfeathers, our elder board member who passed away not even a month ago from COVID. And I just said, man, we need help. You know, we need rain. And anyway, last night, so I went to bed and I had this dream, and this is the 5th time now that Charlie has came to me in my dream. But in my dream, we were standing somewhere, and he was standing right next to me, and he was just so happy, and he was joking and laughing, and he went like this. He elbowed me like this, you know, and he said, geez, you didn't even come to my final farewell, meaning that I didn't go to his burial. And he was like teasing me about like, geez, you didn't even come to my final farewell. And he was laughing when he said it. And then he said, nah, he goes, you know, I'm just teasing. He goes, I know you dropped off that medicine, because I had dropped off some medicine when he was still in the hospital, some sweetgrass and a medicine tie that he always has us make for our youth gatherings. So then in my dream, he was the one talking, but I wasn't talking, but I was communicating with him with my mind. And so I asked him about the fires, you know, well, what about the fires? And he goes, oh, everything's going to be okay. You know, you're going to be okay. And then that was it about that part of the dream. Then my dream went into some other place. But anyway, I woke up this morning, and that, like, I remembered it immediately. It was the first thing that I thought of this morning. And I had emailed our board members and told them about the dream, just because I thought it was, you know, really powerful, that regardless, there's lots of things happening, life lost, homes lost, you know, land, you know, thousands of acres that are being burned, you know, but we're going to be okay. You know, we're going to be okay. And so that was the message I wanted to just share. But moving from that, I think it's a beautiful thing that you're doing for your daughter, LoVina. And one of the things that I'm always comforted with is that our ancestors were masters of change. Like, they had to be. They were masters of change. They had to be. And because of trauma, many of us have a hard time with change, right? And that's because of the trauma. And so change is good. And what you're doing now is you're taking the best that you have, and you're doing the best that you can right now. And we're doing this ceremony today virtually on Zoom. Like, I think that's awesome. And I think our ancestors would be proud of us. Like, we're embracing change, and we're doing the best that we can with what we have. And it doesn't matter if it's on Zoom or if we're in person or what, it's the intent and it's the love behind it that matters. And your intent as her mother and the love that you have as her mother, and you've gathered her best friend, and you've gathered, you know, her aunties to come in a good way to lift her up and to honor her. So I want to acknowledge you, LoVina, as her mother, that you're doing a very beautiful thing for your daughter. And NorthStar, it's like I do got to clear the smoke out of my throat. So NorthStar, I've watched you since you were a young little girl, and I've watched you grow and develop into the beautiful young woman that you are today, and that you have been surrounded by family and by friends that have helped to lift you up in a good way. And may you always remember today, this day, September 11th, where you were once again surrounded by love and women that are lifting you up in a good way. And the words of encouragement that I want to leave with you are to always remember your role as a woman, to always remember that no matter your age, you're going to continue to mature. Even me in my 50s, like I'm still maturing and growing and learning and thinking about things in a different way. Always remember, you know, who you come from. And when you're out in the world, whether you're texting somebody on your phone or you're visiting people in person, like always remember who you represent, because that helps to guide our behaviors. It even helps to guide our thoughts. So always be mindful of that. And it's just like when you put on your beautiful jingle dress or your beautiful buckskin dress, it's like carry that with you always. Even right now, you're wearing your shirt and your jeans. But when we, in our minds, when we see ourselves in that jingle dress, that helps our behavior too, right? Because we don't just wear our jingle dress for that one day or for those few days. It's like we have it on all the time, and that helps to guide our behavior. And then the other thing, sorry, I was just letting in Shy's jumping on. There's just so many other things. You know, the other thing is like about kindness and compassion. Being kind and compassionate to yourself first, and then always to be kind and compassionate to others. So when we think about when people come across our paths, you know, making sure that they feel better when they leave our presence than when they came into our presence. Like that's our job as human beings. And our world will be a very different place if we all sought to do that, right? So always remember to be kind and compassionate to yourself and to others. Those are the big ones, right? Those are the big ones right now. And then the other thing is like, when we choose to not carry stuff that weighs us down, like anger and hurt and resentment and stuff like that, we're better able to carry around things like kindness and love and joy. And that helps us to like exude that to others. So just be mindful of that. The stuff that we carry like impacts us. It impacts our attitudes. It impacts the way we see the world, and it impacts the way that we operate in the world too. So always remember to carry that light load. You'll have life challenges and things like that, and you'll move through them in a good way, and you'll always be okay. So just to be mindful of that. And oh, one last thing, I'm just thinking about all these things as I go along, is when you have questions or when you have doubt, or even the times that you have fear, like always know that I am here for you. Like you can text me, you can call me, you can email me, you can talk to me in your mind, right? And if I'm in a good place, I'll be able to tune into you. But you can reach out for help anytime. You can reach out for a question anytime. Even if it's a math question, I'll try to help you. If it's a life question, I'll try to help you. But always know that I will be here. And I'm always here to support you and to help guide you and to be one of your biggest cheerleaders. So the final thing is just know that I love you, NorthStar, and I'm super proud of you. And honestly, like, I can't wait to see, like, you know, next month and next year and in 5 years and 10 years and 20 years, all the contributions that you're going to make to yourself and to your family and to the community. So thank you for this opportunity, and thank you, everyone. I love you, NorthStar. And LoVina and Debbie and everybody on here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, and Jillian, I know you're gonna have to leave because you have another meeting. And so from NorthStar and I and from our family, I'm gonna give this necklace to you and I'll send it to you. But it has like all kinds of animals on it. And so
Wow.
team lunch. Thank you, Jillian, for your
Thank
for your
you. Thank you. That's
Thank you,
beautiful.
Jillian.
Thank you.
Love you.
And so now I'm gonna pass it on to my sister, Debbie, and just ask my sister to say a few words. The only I got her on here because I said that there might be a giveaway.
Oh, geez. Good afternoon. It's just really hard to see my sister LoVina be emotional for such a significant event for my niece and my older niece. And, you know, as LoVina's sister, you know, biologically, I don't have a daughter. I have 3 sons. And, you know, I had the opportunity to have her oldest, Tawaya, who's named after me, live with me, you know, since she was a baby. And then as she got older, but for our tribes and for our family history, you know, this ceremony has been lost, like my sister had said before. And due to the Catholicism, you know, knowing our history and the traumas that came down over time. And I want to touch on that a little bit because my yaya, Beans Alexander, told me a story of her sister, Sissy Matt, when they were at the boarding school down here in De Smet. And the Catholics, having your period or those type of things was evil or bad. And no one, the kids were taken from their homes at such a young age that no one was able to explain what the significance of this when becoming a woman. And so my auntie Sis, being a little girl, she started her period at the mission, and she didn't know what was happening. And there was blood, and she took her panties and she'd wash them and then she'd put them back on because it was lost, it was broke. And you know, and that's just 2 generations above me. So I think it's really important to know why, for my nieces to know why. I mean, as their aunt, my mother didn't talk to me, and obviously her mother didn't talk to her. But knowing the why at least gives you an understanding, because as you grow older, like Jillian says, you learn, you know, and then once you actually have a child and you experience, everything in the world stops in that moment. When you give life to a baby, when your body, when you don't think a baby can fit through there, and your body expands in a moment, and then you hear that life. And for the 9 months that you're with that baby day and day night, every moment of your life, there's nothing in the world that would compare to it. And when my aunt and my mom told me that as a mother, as a woman, having the ability to give life, when you do, you're responsible for that child for the rest of your life as a mother. And those tribes like Dahitihi and other tribes, you know, I have so much respect and honor for those tribes that have been able to keep up with their traditions and culture and be able to do these ceremonies. And so for my niece NorthStar today, you know, it's my only hopes and dreams for you. And if I did have a daughter, just like with my sons, with the trauma and the historical trauma, you know, with the things that happened to me, to my mom, to my dad, to their parents, is I always wanted to protect my sons from sexual abuse, from physical abuse, from all of those things. And the same with my nieces, you know, and it's like, my only wish is to allow you just the chance and the opportunity to be able to love and to do and be a successful woman out of love. Unlike all of my successes were due to hate through this society. But if we can grasp the things that your mom, your yaya, Jeline, people who have taught you about the sweat house, about prayer, about honoring, you know, your family, honoring who you are, knowing where you came from. And then someday you will meet that one man and you will make that marriage sacred. And that's what I told my husband, you know, our marriage is sacred, meaning that above all things, we are together and we are one. And being a woman is the greatest gift of all. And it's something that a man could never compare to. But I don't mean it in that way. I just mean it just how my mind thinks. But you also need our men. And the last wedding, when I went to Amani's wedding, and we got to watch the video of all of her uncles, you know, running for her. You know, because that's our strength, our muscle is our men, our warriors, you know, and having that ability to you know, raise men in our society to respect women, you know. But when it comes down to it, NorthStar, every decision you make has to be your choice, you know, as long as you always remember that you have a choice, you know, and then you take responsibility for your choices, you know, that so that you understand that. And I'm not saying you're going to make all the right choices, you know. That's how we get through life, is by learning from our mistakes, you know. But you got to always be strong and move forward. And when you face challenges, just push through them. And you always have your family, and you always have me, and I love you. And I'm really, really, really excited to look forward to your future. And I love you too, sis. And you don't have to give me anything.
Well,
Although I'll talk to you about that later.
well, even though you say that, like, I already had these picked out for you because they're so awesome and you're such a strong woman. You're a United States Marine, Deborah, and you're strong, and you're one of the strongest people that I look up to, and I've always looked up to. And I've always tried to be as good as you. I've always tried to live up to the expectation of the path that you set before me. And you have done a lot for me, raising and helping me to raise Tawaya. And so, Limlimsh, thank you, sister. I love you. And now I want to ask my sister Mary Lee, who is one of the most amazing, traditionally, culturally grounded women that I know. I I could never, like, be as knowledgeable as her unless, like, I lived with her. And I'm just so impressed, Mary Lee, with everything you do to help your young women become women, with their foods and their songs and their dances and the longhouse. And so you mean the world to me, Mary Lee, and you've taught me a lot. And so now I want to hand it over to you.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for this whole circle. Y'all got me teared up, and I can feel the love. But I think the route that I'm going to go to, Northy, is I've only got to spend, a few times with you, and they were very precious and very magic. But I think the big part that you're gifting right now, Northy, is just the understanding with all women and all young women and little girls. LoVina, there's a self-love and a forgiveness, but there's also this beautiful, beautiful little girl that's sitting on this hillside, and it's all of us. And she's calling to all of us to say, take care of us, love us, don't forget, don't get caught up in the zoom, zoom, zoom. I got to do this, I got to do that. Slow it down. Slow it down. That art of being a mother, that connection between a mother and a child, it's precious. And when you understand that anything you do, not only is your mom there, but your aunties, your grandmas, your sisters, all of them are there whenever you make any decision. So I have no worries, Northy, because the biggest thing that I guess I really want to say is something about faith, and that connect with the Creator, and understanding that every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, it's already taken care of. It's already settled. All you have to do is just be grateful for the life that you have, and those that carried before you, those that carried that load of the Catholic schools, the boarding schools, of all the hurt and the trauma that is intertwined in our blood. Because the reason that they endured that trauma is for you to thrive, not to survive, not to just live, but to thrive. What does that mean to you? In those times, we could say, I'd take a little girl, and once she started her moon, and we went through, we wouldn't announce it as much, but it would have been a sacred thing to stop. I've got to stop gathering. I've got to stop doing all these things. I got to tell you how precious and beautiful you are, because now you have this extra power, this extra energy, and the way that you carry yourself, you have to be very cautious. Now, the upside of this is we can talk about it this way, but here's the stuff we don't talk about. As a food gatherer, it's really tough sometimes. I don't really preen myself and think, I'm going to get ready and put the makeup on and go out in the mountains and go dig. And I don't do that. I don't do that when I go fishing. It's like, just get it on and get it out there, because they're calling. But there's times that I've sat in the longhouse and our people have inherited this horrible legacy of behaviors, of misunderstanding. And that's where I guess that self-forgiveness and self-love comes in, and forgiveness for others. I've seen beautiful, gatherers come through with the foods and everything. And then watching all the foods that they brought in when I visit other longhouses. And then I hear a man say, oh, look at the way she wears her basket. Look at her hips. And it's just derogatory. I've been out in the fields where I've had immense teachers, wonderful cultural teachers. And they've showed me just the different aspects of the things that I've been introduced to. And then all of a sudden they grope my arm and it's a different feeling. Understand that. Understand what you want. Understand what feels comfortable and feels right, whether it's a man or a woman. Listen to that little girl inside and always protect yourself, always. And don't ever be afraid to say stop, step back. Because that light inside, it gets tested and you carry a beautiful light. And so I kind of want to talk about that part, but I also want to share some of the things that I've learned. I've learned from my aunt, and she's talked to me and my other aunts. I'm lucky to be around a lot of elders. And they've told me once a woman starts, a long time ago, this is the way we did it. And I just want to switch up to this time because now we share you. We share you with the school system. We share you with TikTok. We share you with, all the mainstream things that there is out there. But regardless, home isn't a place that you go to, it's in your heart. And you are who you are wherever you go. And so one thing that the plants have always taught me was a cedar doesn't try to be a rose, and a rose doesn't try to be a dandelion, and a dandelion doesn't try to be anything else but what it is. We all carry medicine. And growing up, as well as I do, lateral oppression, lateral violence. That's a fancy word for a little bit of jealousy in the schools, a little bit of jealousy in the workplace. When women come around and all of a sudden the claws come out because it's who's prettier, who's skinnier, who does this more, who makes more money, who does this, and we start to beat each other up. And who wears the best clothes or who has the best style or anything like that. And that's not what life's about. And those lulls will happen throughout your lifetime. And so trying to understand when you talk and when you walk and when you do things, your mama is in your blood veins. Your aunts, your grandma, all of them are in your blood veins. And when you turn around and you look at them and you see those pictures and understand all of those things that they've gone through, you have this beautiful vibration that goes through, and it's all of your ancestors. And yesterday was my mom's 72nd birthday. And I was looking at her when we had dinner and I thought, God, she is beautiful. And there she is just, bebopping around. And the thing I couldn't get over is it's harder than heck to get her a birthday present. And I was thinking, why? So on the way home, I was telling her, we got you this, we got you that, and it's all kind of materialistic. And we spend our time with her throughout the year. But she said, Mary, we come from a place where there isn't really a want, there's a need, and that's that the foods are medicine and they take care of you and you prioritize that. And like I said, in those foods, they teach you so much. They teach you how to be, they have their seasons, they have coming into the ground, sprouting up and celebrating. They withstand the sun, they withstand the winter. They withstand all of those emotions of the earth. And she said, we really don't have anything that we want. The reason that we go to work is to make money to take care of that world. And it's a different world because it's all about, like I said, the materialistic things. So my prayer for you is to separate that and look at it. And, you know, not to live like a martyr or somebody that's in a victim mode. It's to look at, where is your passion? Or where are you going to put your energy? And if there's times that your body's telling you, I'm tired or I'm grumpy, or you see yourself snapping, rest and start to correct some of the things that have happened in your own life. Self-regulate, just like those plants. Make sure you get enough rest. Make sure you get enough water. Make sure you take care of those needs. And when you go out, you'll start to understand those wants. They're going to come. I think the other part I wanted to share is, you know, the things that happened a long time ago was that was suitable for that time. And that was tradition for that time. And it's to be celebrated because it survived, because we're here. And hearing stories about people gathering foods, or even just wanting to hear the language, and they go out and hide in the, you know, someplace secret, and so they can speak to each other, so they can eat the food, so they can celebrate. So they can celebrate these kinds of things. They did it because it was important to honor each of us. Each of us as women, each of us as young ladies, each of the foods that come through, to respect. And just to really honor yourself. And I guess, you know, LoVina and I, we have a huge connection. And a long time ago, you know, I make no beans about it at all. I tell my children everything, because you know, when I was your age, I'm sure I was like running around. I was wild. I tell my daughter that. My son, he's also a Marine, and he's kind of lost in the system of trying to figure out his mainstream versus his culture. And so we kind of got in this dispute about something, and he said, you know, some really intense things to me. And he said, Mom, you already told me what you was like. And he talked about the alcohol and the drugs. And I said, yeah, I did. And he said, so you can't say anything to me about anything. And I said, I can't. This is your journey. This is your life. I can only share what happened to me. And the way that you take it in is the way that you take it in. My hopes are that you would kind of learn from that part. But if you don't, and you have to make your own, just know that I'm still going to love you no matter what. And that's what I hope for you, NorthStar, is you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have a lot of lessons out there. And it's exciting. It's a beautiful world. I can't wait to hear all the stories. And, you know, my son, he came around and he apologized, and he said, that was an inner struggle that I had. And I apologize, Mom. But that connection that takes place, it's with you, because I see you go to every event with your mama. I see you when you talk, how your eyes glimmer up, just like your grandma. And when you gather, my heart was excited, because once you opened up that ground, you did exactly what all of your ancestors had done before. This wasn't new to you. And to be able to celebrate that with a song that you're reconnected, don't ever forget that feeling. Because when you do feel sad, or when you do feel hurt, that alignment that you felt that day, that's yours. That's yours forever. And that's kind of what I try to share with some of the girls that I work with. And it doesn't always go right. You know, I think your mom is very well meant, but there's like a lot of bravado in the world that we have. And I'm not saying this in a victim stance. I feel good about who I am, but that kind of confidence, there's a humility, a humbleness to it. And so when I go someplace or I do something, I realize that we're all in our different places of healing. Some people will listen and some people will take it in. And some people, you know, are still carrying things where there's no room for it to absorb. It's just still hurting. And so when that comes out, that's a reflection of them. That's not anything of you. And that's what I really want to focus on, because now, you know, it's been nothing but time to sit and absorb. And I'm glad I get to vibrate from my mother and my grandmother that's no longer here. I'm honored to be in this little circle. I'm honored that you even know who I am, because gosh dang it, when I think, you know, 70 or something, I can't wait to hear the stories about Northie and what's going on. I can't wait to see the path that you make to make it a little bit easier for my daughter. And that's how it works. When we work together, we have to remember that there's people watching. But with that, you know, I just be gentle with yourself, LoVina, because yeah, we didn't have this kind of upbringing. I didn't have somebody pull me aside and tell me and comb my hair and tell me good words and say, you know what, this life that we're living, it's super duper important. It's very important what I'm doing because I'm gathering for my community. And at that time, there was no Safeway or Walmart, but I had to gather. I had to get up and I had to get up and get stuff done. But when that moon hit for my daughter, and I'm thinking about this as if I was back then, you know, 200 years ago, I would stop what I was doing to say, oh, my girl, we got to talk about this. These things that I've told you about before. Now it's your time. Now it's your time. Now it's your turn. And it's a happiness. It's a true happiness. You get to do all of these independent things, but it's also a sadness because that baby, that little baby, she's grown. And there's going to be a lot of responsibility on you. A lot of responsibility that women carry. The life, and I think I'm glad that your auntie said it too, because men folk, they have thicker bone structure than what women do. They were built to be like our protectors. And us, we were the movers and the shakers. There's women that had babies and then right away they went out and start gathering again. They're immense. I can't even imagine thinking of being that way, but that's where you come from. And so with that, I just want to close that up and just let you know that I love you. I love your path. And just have a lot of prayers because you have a strong light, my girl. And that's all. All right.
Thank you, Mary Lee. That was beautiful. Those are beautiful words. And I know because NorthStar and I and Dahi, we all have been digging with you, and we have great pictures from our times digging with you guys. So I have a necklace for you and Joe and for your mom. So, and they're all kind of the same. So that's our gift for you guys. And so I want to go into Shia, I hope you don't mind, but I would like you to go last because I would like you to end us with a song. Because I know, you know, you have a beautiful voice and we want to end with a prayer and a song. And so I'm going to go into Dahi Tihi. Dahi Tihi is NorthStar's best friend. They've been together since they were little girls, dancing together with the little dance troupe that Bobby started. And Bobby and Larry, hi Bobby, Bobby and Larry took my daughter with them to the Navajo tribe, and NorthStar got to be a part of Dahi Tihi's coming of age ceremony, and that's why I asked them to join us. And And so before we start, I just want to say thank you, Bobby and Dahi, um, for doing that, for letting NorthStar go with you and experience such a beautiful ceremony. And and I never really fully got to, say thank you. So I want to give your mom this necklace as a gift for being a part of our lives, and for everything, driving our kids to school in Coeur d'Alene all the time. and um and then I'm going to send this over for Larry, to have, and maybe Bobby can make a bolo tie out of it, or um, you make something. And and then um and we're gonna give Dahi this necklace, um as North Star's friend. And so I want you to share with us a little bit, Dahi, about what it felt like, to go through that ceremony. And your mom can share too. And I'll share pictures as you're talking if you want, because I have your pictures.
Okay. Hi everyone. A while back, I started my journey to becoming a woman. As you can see in this picture, there's me and my Nolly and my Ayat. It's originally 4 days ceremony. We started the ceremony for 4 days, but we only had a short period of time to do it. And me and NorthStar, she was right by my side the whole time. Like every minute and moment she was there, and she got to be there experiencing it. My Nolly, that my late Mary, Nolly, she got to be there with me. And I got to see NorthStar running behind me the whole way, encouraging me while we were running up the hill. And when I got to hear my Nolly come into the words saying, I want to take NorthStar as my adopted granddaughter, she gave me a chance to give her a little prayer, and NorthStar was there to give her hugs. And sorry, but me and NorthStar, we've been together right by each other's sides since like we could talk really. NorthStar was like the best friend ever. Like sometimes I barely can I get to see NorthStar, and it fills my heart that I got to bring her along my journey and got to hear my Nolly say these exact words to her, saying, "You're going to be my granddaughter, and I will always be there for you." And I love what you're doing, LoVina. I do. I really do. But I wish it could be in person, where I can be right by my best friend's side, right next to her, running as far as we can together. And she was there with me, running up the hills. As the sun came up, we saw the sun shining on us, and I just smiled. But the one thing my parents always taught me is never look back, but always be there to hold someone. But if you need to look back, just a glimpse of it will help. And so every time I see those pictures of me and NorthStar and my grandparents and my whole family, giving them prayers of love and happiness, I just love seeing NorthStar be there and my grandparents taking her in as their own. But sorry, at least I can be here for her on her journey, on her womanhood, and be the best friend that she needs Yeah. And forever, rather be there than just standing on the other side of the screen. But I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dahi.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't think this was going to be so emotional.
Very emotional.
Oh,
Good.
beautiful.
job.
Thank you so much, Tiffany and Bobby. And Larry, thank you guys for being here today with us. And I do too wish we could be here in person. It would, I want to hug you. I want to hug North Star. I want to hug my sisters. And I'm just so grateful that you guys are here. So thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Dahi. And I just want to hand it off now to Shy. And Shy's just like my daughter. She's like, Shy, you've been in my life since you were a little girl. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of how you're raising Journey. Sometimes we have to raise our children by ourselves, and we have to just be a champion ourselves. And we gotta do it because they're our babies. And I'm so proud of you, Shy, for being such a good mommy. And so you know and you're one of the people who I've raised, and now you're a woman. And I helped you a little bit, and so I wanted you to share with North Star. And then Shy, you can just close us out with a song, because man, this has been super emotional. But I'm gonna send you this, Shy, and this is your gift. And I have a little gift that I'll send in there for Journey too. And so that's from me and North Star, and we love you, Shy. And so I'm gonna let you go ahead and say some words to North Star. And North Star, I love you with all my heart, and I'm so proud of you. So
Wow.
I just hope that that Creator will bless you. I know He will, because you have love all around you. Okay, go ahead, Shy.
Awesome. Thank you, LoVina. Um, so I apologize for coming in a little bit late. um, so what I was taught when we were on our period was that that's the most powerful time of the month for us, because we're releasing a lot of those emotions and those heavy things that we're carrying. We're releasing all those bad thoughts and all those hurtful things that we hold on to. And so, that's a time for you to cry it out, be vulnerable, pray. And that's like one of the biggest times for you to pray, because that's that releasing is connected to the spirit world, and it's connected to Creator. He's helping you release all of those. And so you may have all kinds of mood swings, and maybe like super crazy. And in that time especially, take care of yourself, eat good, think good things, and define what you're going to do in the next month, as having to carry all these heavy things and releasing them. Prepare yourself for the next release. Forgive yourself, love yourself. And I was taught that we can't sing, we can't be in ceremony, we can't do things because of that power that we hold, because there could be spirits coming through, and they're not good spirits. And that's one of the times that we were taught to protect ourselves too. So I want to congratulate you on your transition, and never forget where you come from. When you release those emotions, you are taking care of your thoughts. One thing that I've always focused on is being positive, and I try my best to have positive thoughts and speak positive words. And really what I've grown to know is that your thoughts create your reality. You know, your thoughts, they become your actions. Like, you think about something, and then as long as you keep focusing on that, it'll come true. It'll come to fruition. So, you know, think positive, and then, you know, all that positive energy will come to you. So it's very important how you take care of your thoughts, because if you are influenced by a lot of negativity around you, you can sometimes create negative thoughts, and then you can, you know, create a negative image of yourself. And those are very powerful. And I can't stress that enough. It's just that, you know, being positive and thinking positive things is something that will carry you through this time immensely. Another thing, like around this time, watch who you surround yourself with. You know, keep yourself around good people, keep yourself around people that love you and that are there for you, and that you can, you know, talk to, like release, you know, some of those hurts for you. Like your mom's been there for me since day one. Like, you know, I always call upon her and she's always there to listen to me. And so, you know, you have a really awesome mom, and, you know, don't be afraid to call to her and, you know, ask her to pray for you, or, you know, tell her you love her, you know, tell somebody you love them. You know, it's really important to speak from a place of love, because that's how you can be a cycle breaker. You know, we have our bloodlines, you know, we said that we share the same ancestors. What they went through, acknowledging that historical trauma and the things that they suffered, and the way that they weren't able to be killed, they carried on our traditions. You know, acknowledging their strength and their resiliency. And because of us, we're here because of our ancestors. You know, they couldn't take our ancestors away from us. They couldn't kill us. And so just by knowing that alone, your resiliency, you're really powerful. You're really powerful just for just being here and being present in this world, because your guys' world is really influenced by social media. It's really influenced by other factors, where I didn't have social media when I was little. My mom didn't have social media. You know, it's your, how can I explain this? You're in a place to where you can define who you become. You know, you like keeping positive people around you, keeping people that love you around you. It could really help you break that cycle of that hurt and that pain. Like for me, I chose to stop the cycle of drug and alcohol abuse. My mom suffered a lot of neglect and abuse in her childhood, so she promised to, you know, not treat us the way that she was treated. So she was part of that cycle breaking, and you have the power to carry on that cycle and continue to heal those cycles. And by doing that, just by speaking love and speaking positivity, and, you know, just doing good things, not only for yourself, but for your families and other people, it will create a new cycle of healing. So I'm super proud of you, of the woman that you're becoming. I love you so much. I remember you when you were born, when you were little. I remember babysitting you. You know, it's just been an honor to watch you grow and watch you become the beautiful, gorgeous woman that you are. I want you to know how loved you are, how beautiful and awesome that you are, and I want you to believe in yourself and never give up. You know, don't be afraid to make mistakes, and don't be afraid to fail. You know, don't be afraid to have a couple of missteps. You know, that's where that resiliency comes in. You learn from those mistakes and you move forward no matter what. So in closing, I'm going to honor you with a song. I just want you to know I love you. You're so awesome. Proud of you. And thank you to all of you guys for this opportunity. I love all you guys too. And this one's for you, NorthStar. And Dahi too. I've known Dahi since she was little. And I love you girls. And you girls have always been by each other. You guys have always been everywhere together. I've always seen you guys everywhere. And so that bond is really special, and that bond is something that I hope continues to grow for as long as you guys are growing. I love you guys, so this one's for you. Thank you.
Liam. Thank you, Shy. NorthStar, I just want to give you a chance to say thank you. Can you take your phone off mute and just tell your aunties and your BFF thank you?
Hi everyone, I just want to say thank you to my Auntie Debbie, my Auntie Mary Lee, and my best friend Diatihi. And thank you, Shia, that was a beautiful song. And thank you, Jillian, even though she's not here right now. And I really enjoyed, and thank you for all the advice. And thank you, Mom.
I love you, baby. And I'm so grateful to everybody for being here today. I mean, I feel like this is just a tiny little circle, but we're all connected by our hearts. And I'm so proud of you, Dahi. You spoke so well and you said such good words. And I know both you and NorthStar are going to be leaders, and that people are going to look to you guys to guide us into the future. I mean, you guys have survived coronavirus. So, you guys are survivors. But I love you, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Power Hour. This was awesome. Thank you. Bye, everybody.